Welcome to 5-Minute Bedtime Stories, brought to you by TaleBot, your child's AI storyteller. Want to create a bedtime story for your child? Visit talebotai.com/create. Now, let's sit back and enjoy the story.
Irene's Knock-Knock Adventure in the Enchanted Forest. A special bedtime story for Irene. Once upon a time, in a cozy little town, there lived a curious and imaginative little girl named Irene. Irene loved bedtime stories, and her favorite thing in the whole world was to embark on magical adventures in her dreams. Every night, Irene's parents would tuck her in, read her a story, and say goodnight, but tonight was different. Tonight, Irene's imagination was about to take her on an extraordinary journey. As Irene drifted off to sleep, she found herself standing in front of a mysterious door. It was no ordinary door. It was covered in sparkling fairy dust and had a sign that said, "Knock Knock Adventure Awaits." Curiosity filled Irene's heart as she wondered what awaited her on the other side. With a giggle and a sense of excitement, Irene knocked on the door, and to her surprise, it swung open, revealing a breathtaking forest filled with vibrant colors and magical creatures. The forest was known as the Enchanted Forest, a place where dreams came to life. Irene stepped through the door and was greeted by a mischievous elf named Oliver. Oliver had a mischievous grin and a twinkle in his eye. He explained that in this forest, everything was a joke, and the creatures loved to tell knock-knock jokes to make everyone laugh. Oliver led Irene through the forest, introducing her to all sorts of enchanting creatures. They met a wise owl named Hoot, who hooted funny punchlines. They encountered a playful squirrel named Nutty, who cracked nutty knock-knock jokes. They even met a friendly unicorn named Sparkle, who loved telling magical jokes that made Irene's heart soar. As they ventured deeper into the forest, Irene and Oliver encountered a problem. The forest's laughter had vanished, and the creatures were no longer smiling. Irene's heart sank as she realized that the forest's joy had been stolen by a grumpy goblin who despised laughter. Determined to bring laughter back to the Enchanted Forest, Irene and Oliver devised a plan. They would gather all the knock-knock jokes they could find and perform a grand comedy show to make the grumpy goblin laugh. They journeyed through the forest, collecting jokes from each creature they met. Irene's laughter echoed through the trees as she heard one funny joke after another. With each joke, her spirit grew stronger, and she felt more confident in their mission. At last, the day of the grand comedy show arrived. Creatures from all corners of the Enchanted Forest gathered, eagerly awaiting the return of laughter. Irene took the stage, accompanied by Oliver and all their newfound friends. They began their performance, telling knock-knock jokes that filled the air with mirth and joy. As the show progressed, Irene spotted a grumpy goblin lurking in the shadows. Determined not to let his grumpiness ruin the day, Irene approached him with a smile and said, "Knock, knock." The grumpy goblin grumbled, "Who's there?" Irene replied, "Lettuce." The goblin sighed, "Lettuce who?" Irene beamed, "Let us in, it's funny out here." The grumpy goblin couldn't help but let out a chuckle. Irene's infectious laughter spread throughout the forest, and soon everyone was laughing. The Enchanted Forest was alive with joy once again, thanks to Irene's bravery and determination. After the grand comedy show, Irene bid farewell to her newfound friends, promising to return someday. She stepped back through the magical door, back into her cozy room, where she fell into a peaceful sleep, knowing that laughter had the power to overcome any challenge. From that night on, Irene carried the spirit of laughter wherever she went. She shared knock-knock jokes with her friends, and her laughter brightened the world around her. And every night, as she closed her eyes, Irene knew that her dreams would take her on more magical adventures, where laughter would always save the day. So, my dear Irene, as you drift off to sleep, remember that laughter is the greatest magic of all. Let it fill your heart and guide you on your own incredible adventures in dreamland. Good night, Irene, and may your dreams be filled with laughter and joy.
Thank you for joining us on this enchanting journey. If you enjoyed tonight's story, remember, the magic doesn't have to end here. Craft your own adventure with TaleBot by visiting talebotai.com/create. And as a special treat, use the coupon code TALE99 at checkout to get your bedtime story for just 99 cents, instead of the usual $2.99. Sweet dreams, and until our next tale.